Hello, let's discuss a context question based on one of the short stories in your collection. It's Eveline. We'll have a discussion based on Eveline. The very first paragraph, let's take it as a context question. And I will discuss with you how to write the answer for that. So as usual, in a context question, now we have done a context question based on Go and Catch a Falling Star as well. So that video, it's there, you can go through it. So as usual, when you write a context answer, you need to write more than 3 paragraphs. It's most of the time we make it as 4 paragraphs. Introduction, analysis of the given paragraph, theme you have to explain, and next the techniques, what are the literary devices the writer used there. So in the introductory paragraph, you have to introduce the situation, setting and all. In second paragraph, you have to analyze the given extract, and in third, you discuss about the themes of the given extract, not about the whole drama, whole novel, or whole short story. It's just about the given extract of the short story. And also the techniques under the literary devices, you have to talk about, you have to discuss the literary devices or the techniques used in the particular extract or the given extract. So it's Eveline. I have selected the very first paragraph of Eveline. I will just read it out. You all have the story, you all know. She sat at the window watching the evening invade the avenue. Her head was leaned against the window curtains and her nostrils was the odor of dusty curtain. She was tired. So that normally, in context answers, the extracts that they are giving for the context answers, you find very short paragraphs, few lines. So those few lines you have to analyze with the notes and with the points that you know, and also you can use your own interpretations, your own arguments, words. You need to use a good vocabulary. You have to express your language. You have to you can't do simple grammar errors in your language, so you need to explain or express yourself related to that particular extract. So when it comes to the introductory part of the given extract, you can introduce the story begins on an evening in a residential section of Dublin, or the first, before that you have to mention from where these lines taken from. That is obvious, no? You all know this extract is taken from James Joyce short story Eveline, which appears on the collection of short stories named as Dubliners. So the setting of the extract, you can mention the story begins on an evening in a residential section of Dublin. And also Joyce explains the story in third person point of view. It is the first paragraph. The narrator reports from a distance as if he is sitting across the room from Eveline. So Eveline's the narrator presents the readers the Eveline, her character, and how she appears to be. So in your analysis part, you have to analyze the given extract. The evening invade the avenue. So as it is presented that the darkness shadow mirror Eveline, so that is expressing Eveline's sadness and her fatigue, how tired she is. And also she smells the odor of dusty curtain that can suggest the layers of dirt, and the grim that can suggest the fact that they are not changing, or we use the word stagnation, stagnate. Like people, like sometimes you find the people seem to stagnate on the same point. They are not moving around. They are like, even Eveline, you find herself as a very passive character. She is introduced to be as a very passive, very reluctant to move. She is not she is not moving on. She is just, even the action, just see the first. It says the very first line. The second line. Her head was leaned. She was leaning her head against the window curtains. See her, the posture, the way she is sitting, leaning her head. So that suggests the lethargy, how passive she is as a character. And also the best word you can use is stagnation. Stagnation. So and also the end of the street, they are used the way that the street is presented, you find like it is very very darkness, or the isolated window watching the evening invade. It's suggesting quite gloomy, dull setting. And also the word dusty mentioned here, odor mentioned here, tired mentioned here. Tired, you can call it as passive. So these words are not just words. These words can suggest something. So what these words can suggest? Dusty can be very, it can be a symbolical word. So dusty can suggest death, or even it can suggest lethargy, end of hope, lack of dreams, like lack of having a chance to be happier. The life smells dusty, like very dusty smell of life. So like very very bored, very unpleasant, very dull, very lethargic. So you have to explain feeling of like heavy feeling, sleep over, like you are like extremely tired. Then even the smells of her house, like dusty smell coming from the house, or the odor, that can suggest they are not fresh. Like when you find the house is like that, you can say like it's not a fresh place. They are not alive. There is no feeling of liveliness. They are not live, and no development in their characters, not moving on, no replacement in their life. It seems like the old way is still continuing. And also the feeling of lost, like maybe the lost childhood, lost innocence, simple things, and the joys in life, she lost that. This is what else then. Her sense of the feeling of bored, or sense of sadness. And it seems like she has she is bored in her life. She is very lethargy in her life, and no expectations in her life, no hopes. So those you have to explain in your analysis part. Then it comes to the themes. You can suggest the themes, such as make sure like when you write a theme, you have to explain how that particular theme is interconnected with the given extract. So if you say there is the theme of imprisonment, or the theme of paralysis, theme of powerlessness, theme of escaping, how she finds herself to escape, or like how she is isolated, the theme of isolate. So all these you need to explain. Like if you say like this, the extract indicates the theme of isolation, how isolated she is, the gloomy setting, how she finds herself is alone. Then like the sense of defeat, like she feels like she got defeated, and her life is as like she lives as an individual in her life. Then also the fact that her character is like she seems to be trapped away from trapped in the condition, or trapped in her life. She is struggling to move on. She is struggling to move on the trap in her life, and how she is longing to escape. Like she is her loneliness is suggested. The evening arrives, and she is waiting. Her face is leaned against the window, and even the first image you get in the story, It's suggesting like she is expecting something to happen, but that would not happen as she expects, and she has no power to move on. She has no power to go beyond that. She has no power to talk, step out of that. So she seems like lethargic, very passive, very reluctant, or she seems to be stagnating on the same point. So the themes you can explain: longing to escape or isolation, powerlessness, defeat, and even paralysis. So you have to, under the techniques we can discuss about the first paragraph, even the given paragraph, it is suggesting one of the common techniques of James Joyce. One is it's about the stream of consciousness. That means the writer reveals the thoughts of the character, like she is sitting and what she feels, and her thoughts are suggested through words. So the stream of consciousness, and also finally it's all about her paralysis is also suggested through the given extract, like she sat at the window watching in the evening avenue, her head was lean. So that is suggesting that passive action is suggesting her moral paralysis, that she is morally paralyzed, like she is unable to, or she is reluctant to take a decision in her life. So all those you can put together in separate paragraphs, like introductory part, as I mentioned, the basic introduction, then the analysis with the points that we have discussed, and themes, and finally the techniques you can explain.